If you're out there right now looking for a job and you're starting to think to yourself that maybe the job market is not as good as you had thought, then you are not going crazy. You are not alone. I'm here to validate your feelings about that because the job market is absolutely trash. And this new article that I'm going to be explaining to you guys really just kind of hits the nail right on the head, because again, we've been talking about this for a little while here on the channel ever since I started putting up the daily videos and everything like that. I can't remember which video it is because I put out quite a few of them so far, but in one of the videos I have broken down the labor market a little bit. I have talked to you guys before about how even though we have all of these job gains every single month, the unemployment rate is still ticking up just slightly, but it's still going up. And what that should be telling you is that if unemployment is going up, even though we have all of these job gains every single month, is that maybe it is not the people who are unemployed that are getting the jobs. Maybe it's the people that already have a job that are getting a second or third job just to make ends meet. You know, I've been saying this for a long time, but I don't think that that represents a very strong economy, right? When we talk about a strong economy in terms of the labor market, we typically want to see wages going up at a pace where people don't have to get 2-3 jobs. I mean, listen, that's not what people want to do. People don't want to be working all the time. People don't want 50 different jobs that they're commuting to back and forth. And a lot of these jobs are part-time, so they don't even come with benefits, but you still have to work the same amount of hours. Plus you have to commute between the different jobs that you have. This is getting very messy for a lot of people, very expensive for a lot of people, but they don't really have a whole lot of other options. Now, on the article that I was reading earlier this morning, it was talking about another tech company that's laying off a bunch of people. Although the number of people that they're laying off is unspecified, it still goes to show that the jobs that we're seeing going away are the high paying, good quality jobs, right? It's really only the low quality, low wage jobs that not a lot of people really want to work, but they have to. That's where we're seeing a lot of the job gains. So we've seen a lot of low wage, jobs being added. We've also seen a lot of public sector government jobs being added. Although in the last month it cleaned up a lot more. There was barely any government jobs added. So that was good to see. But historically, I've been studying these job reports for a long time now. I would say over the past 12 months, we've seen a lot of gains in the public sector. Now, when we see job gains in the private sector, that's usually a good sign. That means that the businesses are profitable and they have the capacity to hire more people to help the business run even better or to grow it. But when you see job gains in the public sector, right? Because in the private sector, the businesses are using their profits to pay for those wages and to take on more employees. When we talk about the public sector, though, now we're talking about the government, and all of those salaries, all these government employees, all of those salaries are paid for by the taxpayers. That's me and you, right? So at least if you live in America, if you're paying taxes here, then, some of your taxes are going to go towards these government salaries. And so that's why I say, when we get all of these public sector jobs being added every single month, that's not a good thing. That just means government spending is going to go up even more, which is the exact opposite of what we need. We need government spending to really go down, especially if we want to try to get inflation lower. That's one of the biggest issues in the economy right now for stock market investors, for bond investors, for crypto investors, for housing market investors. All investors are really kind of eyeballing on the side of their eye in their peripherals. We have inflation and seeing how that's doing, but it's hard to get inflation down. We have a bunch of spending happening. And if you have the government that's increasing its spending, it makes it that much harder to get inflation lower. So essentially, yes, it's the government that's going against what the Fed is trying to do here, right? So anyway, the company I'm talking about, though, the one that just did all these layoffs, is TikTok, which you wouldn't really think. TikTok is thriving. I mean, they have a ton of ad revenue. They're absolutely killing it with that TikTok shop feature where they integrated products right onto their platform where you could just buy it right there. You got so many companies that are looking at that feeling threatened. I mean, Amazon immediately started doing live video. Like, if you haven't seen this, you need to go to Amazon.com. You need to go to the live video section, and there's people on there just selling stuff like QVC. This is why I think TikTok has always been such a powerful business. They are just paving the way for all of these other companies, just completely making a new path that these other companies haven't even started to think about. And TikTok is eons ahead of all these other companies. So I was surprised to see that they were even doing any layoffs. Now, of course, the company isn't always struggling when it's doing layoffs. I mean, of course, they want to cut costs and stuff like that. But where we're seeing a lot of the layoffs specifically for TikTok, at least based on this article, and again, I'm going to link all of these articles down below if you guys want to check them out. But a lot of marketing people, a lot of content people, I think just more on the back end side of things, right? So you're not going to see, I would say you're not going to see like a lot of developers losing their jobs. You're not seeing like a lot of people who work on the algorithms and the new features of the app. You don't see a lot of those people losing their jobs. So that's solid. That's good. But you do see a lot of marketing people. You do see a lot of content people who kind of regulate the content and kind of help out over there. Those people are losing jobs. And all of those jobs are at least $100,000 or more in salary. So again, like I said, another big company that isn't necessarily struggling a whole lot compared to a lot of other companies out there, but still are getting leaner and leaner, right? Now, what does that tell you about the economy? The economy is obviously slowing. These companies are looking to save money and cut costs and increase earnings any way they can. And you'll also see a lot of these higher wage jobs, higher quality, higher wage jobs are starting to disappear. One by one by one by one. And then you see all these other massive layoffs. I mean, I'm just talking about TikTok in today's videos, but you have seen lots of other layoffs too with Google, Netflix, Shopify. All of these businesses, guys, are starting to do job cuts because all of these businesses need to become leaner if they want to survive. Now, businesses are not dumb, guys. They've been around for decades and decades. Some businesses have been, around for over 100 years. And for those businesses, they have survived multiple different moments in our history economically where things were tough. We had high inflation. We had high employment. We had crashes in the stock market. Yet some of these companies were still able to survive. So that's why I think that the knowledge that you can get from earnings calls and management from billion-dollar, trillion-dollar businesses is absolutely paramount to your success of investing into the stock market. Now, you guys have the opportunity to make a lot of money in stocks right now. And based on this jobs report, right, what are we seeing with government jobs going up? Although last month was much lower, like I said, but in general, you see government spending going up. You see the inflation numbers are very sticky. Unemployment is rising. People are losing their high-paying jobs and having to get 2 to 3 part-time, low-paying jobs just to make up for the one that they lost. That's why we get these job gains and unemployment's going up. But also, I've also seen people in the comments arguing about immigration, and that's why we see these inflated job numbers, which can also be a big factor. I encourage you guys, when you look at these jobs reports, to look at the percentage of American citizens that are getting the jobs that are added. It's based on a percentage. Go take a look at that, and you can make your decisions based on that too. But like I said, I mean, what is this all pointing to? It's pointing to stagflation, when you have higher levels of inflation and at the same time you have a slowing economy. So you have a slowing economy, almost like a recession, but inflation is not coming down. Because typically with a recession and when you see an economy slowing down, people get more excited, especially in higher periods of inflation, because it means that inflation can start to cool down. But if you start to see the economy slowing and inflation is not coming down, then you have stagflation. And that's kind of where we're headed right now. So based on that, there's a lot of ways to make money from it. You just have to know what you're doing, right? And as I always say in every video, if you guys don't know how to invest, if you're a beginner or you're somebody that's just starting out and you don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the stock market, click the link down below and join my online investing club. It's completely beginner friendly, and I teach you guys all the strategies that I used this year to have my portfolio hit multiple all-time highs. Yes, in 2024, multiple all-time highs. I mean, I think, what is today is Wednesday. On Monday, I hit another all-time high in my net worth and my portfolio. So you guys can do this. I believe in your ability to perform with stocks. But if you don't have a lot of the fundamentals or the basics down, I am going to teach that to you so you don't have to worry about it. So you can click the link down below and join the investing club. I'm telling you guys, it's a great way to start learning how to do this stuff, especially when you have market conditions like this. It can be very tough, but not if you know what you're doing. That's why I'm saying if you click the link down below and join the investment club, if you're someone who's new, I think it's a great option for you to learn. So anyways, I want to see your guys' comments on these TikTok layoffs and all these high-paying jobs disappearing. I want to know your opinion on why you see the job gains even though unemployment's going up. And I'd love to see your guys' responses and thoughts about all this stuff as well. So leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.